3 months. I know, I had to deal with some of that. And the painted eyes. But here's my point. The daughter and the son both were gone. He sold everything to Jezebel, because he was sold to Jezebel, not to Yahweh. Just like Eli, he esteemed the sons and their protection more than his position as the high priest in the house of Yahweh. And when we, male, I'm talking mostly to the men, when you give in to your wife, your children are in danger. And here we have an example. Not only was the house of Ahab destroyed, they slept together. The brother and the sister slept together and got married, and we don't even have to go there. See why such a dangerous spirit? In thinking that you're keeping your family together, you're actually allowing for death to occur. It's never wrong to do right. Never wrong to do right. And it's never right to do wrong. Baruch Hashem Yahweh. So it's an incestuous spirit. It's a lustful spirit that is unfaithful to the Torah first, and then it comes into the house and it manifests as a lustful spirit. Let's go to 1 Kepha 3:7. So you know what you're doing when you're not standing for truth? You know what you're doing when you're not standing for Torah? You're allowing the spirit of lust to come into your house. You know that daughter that you love? You know that son that you love? You know that husband that you love? You are opening him or her to be seduced, especially you men. If you do not assert yourselves as the priest of your home, you are making your wife vulnerable to a seducing spirit, to a spirit of lust, and your children. Identifying Mr. Ahab. 1 Kepha 3:7. Identifying Mr. Ahab. 1 Kepha 3:7. Your wife and your girlfriend or whatever, your significant other, will line up with the word of Yahweh. They will, or they will walk. You will not give in. You will not compromise. You will not back up. You will not make any allowance for anybody to be in anybody's Easter play or anything else. Even at the expense of them getting mad at you and staying mad at you and not talking to you. I'd rather have them not talk to me than have Yahweh withdraw his Shekhinah from me and take off my mezuzah on the doorpost of my house and write, Ichabod, the glory has departed. I don't want Yahweh taking down my mezuzah and writing in its place and instead, Ichabod. Because between the house of Ahab and the house of Eli, not one was saved, not one was spared.
Not one.
The only way to save your family is to demand that they follow you in the truth. Don't ask them, you demand.
Yes, amen.
Amen.
That's right. Yes.
Baruch Hashem Yahweh. 1 Kepha 3:7. Why when I'm talking more quieter, this is louder, and when I'm shouting, it gets lower? What kind of an amplifier did you guys get me? When I speak normal, it's clear. I mean, it's loud. When I shout, it gets lower. What's going on here? What's that?
It's compressing it so it doesn't...
Compression, schmession, don't give me those technical terms. Tell me, you know my refrigerators. Compression, schmession, what's that? I don't know. Okay, I'm going to take authority over it.
Now let's take the authority over you.
That's true, but not for long. I'm not going to yell, so I won't take authority over it. 1 Kepha. If you believe that, I got a bridge in Brooklyn. Now, yeah. All right, 1 Kepha 3:7. 1 Kepha 3:7. Now you may say, Rabbi, come on, this is not practical stuff. This is not, my children are 40 years old. I know. So in other words, you're seeing all those years that you walked in error. It's too late, isn't it? It's too late, isn't it? Well, wait, no, only through prayer it can change. It is too late. You cannot model. It is too late. You cannot model it anymore. You can't model it anymore. The only way you can change it now is through prayer. But it is too late to model it in your home. They're out of the home. That's what I meant, Sister Melba. That's what I meant. Of course, it's never too late. With Yahweh, all things are possible. But when they're under your roof, that's what your family is looking for.
Oh,
It's just the opposite of the world. The world says, let things go, and everything will be preserved. Yahweh says, let things go, and you're going to sow death.
Yes.
1 Kepha 3:7. 1 Kepha 3:7. Same way, husbands, live understandingly together, giving respect to the wife. Respect, not reporting authority. You are to respect her, not report to her. It's a good time to play Fiddler on the Roof. You are to respect her, not report to her. You have no business. You report to Yahweh. You're the male, and Yahweh will cut you off and your house unless you start walking and demonstrating Torah with a radical zeal, the same radical zeal that got Yeshua killed.
the Torah one.
First Kepha 3:7. In the same way, husbands, live understandingly together, reporting back to your wife. No, respecting the wife as the weaker vessel. Well, I'll be darned.
Respect it.
Well, that's not what women's lib tells us. That she's not weaker. She can do anything. There's no such thing as a weaker vessel. Give respect to the wife as the weaker vessel, as being heirs together of the favor of life, so that your prayers are not hindered. Now, this doesn't mean we abuse our wife. It doesn't mean we are despotic. We are dictatorial. We just abuse our authority. What it means is, listen, that we live with them with respect. We respect their opinion. We don't always have to acquiesce it to the opinion. Are you with me? We respect it, but we don't always have, we have to make sure that her opinion lines up with Yahweh's opinion. Okay, number one. Number two, we are to respect the wife as the weaker vessel, listen, according to understanding. I like the way the King Jimmy puts it, according to knowledge. Is that true? We are to dwell with our wives or our spouse, understanding her as the weaker vessel. What does that mean? That we understand that she's weaker physically? No. What does it mean to understand the woman? To understand the spouse, the wife? What does that mean? It means, listen, it means that we are to understand Yahweh's word so that we will know how to deal and to respect our wives. What kind of understanding does Yahweh want the men to have? The understanding of the word of Yahweh. You know why most men operate in the spirit of Ahab? Because they don't know the word. They're relying on the rabbi or the pastor to know the word. Yahweh wants you to know the word, whether you're called to minister or not. So when you don't know the word, you cannot live with your wife in understanding, in biblical, spiritual, kosher understanding. Because either you don't know the word, you haven't studied the word, or you see the word through a Greco-Roman mindset, where the church is the new Israel, that whole 9 yards, and we get into all that error. And so understanding the word of Yahweh is a prerequisite to understanding that your wife is the weaker vessel. And so the kind of understanding we are to have is the understanding of the word of Yahweh. Make sense? Did Ahab understand the word of Yahweh? No. Did he desire to understand the word of Yahweh? No. Did he want to study the word of Yahweh? No. Baruch Hashem Yahweh. And Ahab's spirit has no or little understanding of Yahweh's word, thus he cannot teach it and cannot model it. And Ahab's spirit does not understand the word of Yahweh, so he cannot teach it, neither can he model it. Study to show yourself approved unto Yahweh, a workman who need not be ashamed, rightfully dividing the word of truth. How can you lead it and teach it to your spouse, to your wife, if you don't know it? And you don't come to shul to know it. You learn it on your own and have the synagogue confirm and build you up and edify you in the things Yahweh has showed you. Make sense? And then you'll be able to live it. When you know it and understand it, you'll be able to live it. Identifying Mr. Ahab, Mr. Ahab. Just to recap as we close, if you're taking notes, it is sold to paganism. It is attracted by paganism. It is a spirit of materialism that seeks material things rather than true repentance. It is an independent spirit that gives up its calling to live righteously. It is an accusing spirit. It is an addicting spirit that abdicates its own leadership to lead righteously. Mr. Ahab is a spirit that gives way to his significant others in their life and allows them to dictate his steps. It is a spirit of abdication of responsibility. It is a spirit that brings judgment and death on an entire family. It is a lustful spirit that endangers the children. It is a tame, unassertive spirit. It is a spirit that does not know how to deal in relationships many times because it chooses not to know the word. Amen? It either does not know the word or it chooses not to know the word. Be warned. Listen. Change your habits. Okay? Everyone in this room, if you're not careful, you will report to a Jezebel.
Look out.
Okay? Don't let you live righteously, walk righteously, and be in Him. Live, move, and have your very being in Him.
Yahweh.
Okay? Do not be intimidated by people, places, and things. Do not be intimidated. No harm can come to you or your family as long as you walk and live the Torah walk.
Hallelujah.
Father, we thank you, Abba Yahweh. We thank you, Abba Yahweh, for your word today. Father, you have challenged, spoken, and been business with those of us here in assembly today. And Abba Yahweh, we give you, as always, the kavod for what you're going to do with these teachings around the world, in every city, every village, every hamlet, where you send your word, which will not return to you void, but will accomplish what you please, and will prosper where you send it. So, Father, we see clearly that without a Jezebel, the spirit of Ahab cannot survive, that it must report and check in and be instructed by a spirit of Isabel, and yet takes no authority over Isabel. So, Father, we thank you for showing us all the areas in our lives that we are still succumbing to the pressure of these spirits, the spirit of Isabel and the spirit of Ahab. And we thank you for this revelation. In Yahshua's name, Amen.
12 gates,
12 messengers, 12 tribes of Israel. 12 gates,
12 gates,
12 messengers, 12 tribes
of Israel.
12 gates,
12 gates,
12 messengers,
12
tribes of Israel. 12 gates,
12 gates,
12 messengers, 12 tribes of Israel.
Lebanon, Reuben, Lebanon Shimon, Teshuvah, welcome back. Lebanon Levi, Lebanon Yehuda, Teshuvah, welcome back. God's been waiting for you for 2,700 years. Teshuvah, welcome back. Lift your hands, praise Yahweh. He has gathered the sons of Yaakov. Blow the shofar and rejoice. Yahweh's word has come to be. Teshuvah, welcome back. Lebanon Dan, Lebanon Natalie, Teshuvah, welcome back. Lebanon Gad, Lebanon Asher, Teshuvah, welcome back. Yah's been waiting for you for 2,700 years. Teshuvah, welcome back. Lift your hands, praise Yahweh. He has gathered the sons of Yaakov. Blow the shofar and rejoice. Yahweh's word has come to be. Teshuvah, welcome back. Lebanon is a car. Lebanon is a balloon. Teshuvah, welcome back. Lebanon Yosef, Lebanon Benjamin, Teshuvah, welcome back. God's been waiting for you for 2,700 years. Teshuvah, welcome back. Lift your hands, praise Yahweh. He has gathered the sons of Yaakov. Blow the shofar and rejoice. Yahweh's word has come to be. Teshuvah, welcome back. Teshuvah, Israel, welcome back.
Gates,
12 gates,
12 messengers,
12 messengers,
12 tribes of